Greetings, Andy here again, and in this video, I'm picking 8 albums which have an iconic location-based photo, and then the idea is it's sort of a bit of a quiz, even though everyone will know at least 6 or 7 of them. I'm sure might catch out a few people on a couple, but the idea is I'm going to start off in Google Street View, basically at a place where, in round terms, a photo was taken that it has become iconic. And then, I'm just going to scroll down and say, okay, this was the album, but give you enough time to have a guess. Most of them are bloody obvious, to be honest with you. So, but it's a bit of fun. There's one, I think, which will probably catch majority of people out, maybe a couple of others, but most of them are pretty straight. So, let's play along with this. I got this idea from there's an online geography guessing game called GeoGuessr, which I like to dabble with occasionally, and somebody posted on there a game of album covers, not very many to be honest, and I'm simplifying this. I'm just using the idea really. So what I mean by it is, if we take this one, probably the most iconic location-based cover ever. I'm not going to use this because it's too obvious. But if we would be starting in street view, looking at a zebra crossing. Now that's the sort of idea. But I'm not going to do it with that because there's no point. But the next one's equally obvious. Another really, really obvious one. You can't get in the position of the original photo, which of course was an album released in 1977, which everyone has got now. But it's all been built up around there, and Battersea Power Station, which obviously is where we are, is it's been completely redone. So and here we are again in London, and of course the album is Animals by Pink Floyd from 1977, and of course it's very different now, but it was obvious, wasn't it? The next one is probably equally obvious, but here goes. Let's have a look. Another iconic shot. It's interesting that the building we're looking at here, again, everyone's got this straight away, actually has, in reality, one more floor than the picture on the front cover. And we are here, of course, in St. Mark's Place in Manhattan, New York City. And of course it is Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin, 75, and as I mentioned on there, you can see here that there is above the ground floor there are 3 additional floors, whereas if you look on the actual image, there's another one, there's a 4th. So anyway, that was that one. And next, this one's pretty easy, a bit harder maybe than the last couple, which were so obvious. And we are I think you can recognise that. It is recognisable, even if we can't quite get in the same place. And let's zoom out and see exactly where we are, which will give it away. So we are looking at Maple Durham Watermill, which is on the River Thames, near Reading in Berkshire in the south of England. And just while let me zoom out a little bit further, because here is Basingstoke, and this little dot there is where I live, so I'm not a million miles from that. Anyway, more to the point. And of course the album is Black Sabbath's eponymous debut from, was it 1970 or 69? I can't remember. I think it was 70, wasn't it? Of course, there in the background is Maple Durham Mill. I'm sure everyone got this one. The next one might be a bit harder. Well, this is one you need to know the album to get, and a lot of people will recognise this skyline. But basically, what we're looking at is these two towers, which are condominiums, apparently, with car parks underneath by the look of it. And that's sort of broadly the image, or part of the image, that you see on the album cover. And let's have a look at where we are. Zoom out. We are, of course, in these are the Marina Towers, and we are in Chicago. And of course, the album is Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco. I think Wilco come from Chicago. Don't know, but probably. And there, of course, are those two towers, the Marina Towers, which appeared on in the map. So interested to see how many people got that one. Now the next one is from a live album, and this is, I mean, the live album is really well known, but it might be a bit of a surprise where the cover photo was taken. Now I think this one is going to be really hard because we're inside the place, and it used to be, well, a theatre and concert venue. It's now some sort of church establishment, and this is a picture on Google Maps from taken inside, which is relevant. So we're looking at an album where the band was shown on stage, but it unless you know this, I think it will be a real tough one to get. So let's have a look actually where we are. And it is the Rainbow Theatre, as was in London, in Finsbury Park, London. And the album may be a surprise to you because... And if I'd said, of course, I'm saying it with tongue firmly in cheek. It is Deep Purple and made in Japan. And you think, hang on a minute, there they are. And this was recorded in Tokyo and Osaka. So what's going on? But apparently the photo was actually taken at a concert at the Rainbow Theatre in Finsbury Park about 2 or 3 weeks before they were played in Japan. So when I started this one, I was thinking this would be quite interesting. I wonder if I can get inside one of the concert halls in Tokyo or Osaka where they took this, except they didn't. They took it in London, even though, and it is, of course, it's iconic because it's, if not the, certainly, you know, one of the top 4 or 5 live albums ever, in my humble opinion. Another really obvious one, zoom in a bit, you can see various flags there, some of which are the Canadian flag, and you know, this picture of these arched entranceways are a bit obvious. Everyone will know this. Let's zoom out and have a look at where we are. So we are outside the front of Ontario Premier's office, which is in the Legislative Assembly of Ontario, which of course is in Toronto, in Canada. And of course everybody's got this. It is Rush and Moving Pictures from 1980, I think. And there's the back cover as well. So again, Rush come from Toronto, so not surprisingly it's a Toronto landmark. And the last two, we're back in London again. It would be obvious. So here we are in a street in London. You know, it's obvious it's in London. And we're actually outside a record store, Sister Ray records, and the original album comes from the 90s, and you probably recognise it. Let's sort of zoom out and see exactly where we are. So we're in Berwick Street, which is in Soho, in West London. And of course it is What's the Story, Morning Glory by Oasis from 95, is it? Yeah, I think it's 95, can't remember. And or is it 96? Don't know, can't remember. And of course there they are, you can see that. And if you were to look back here, I don't suppose it was open then, but that Sister Ray Records is just sort of like off the side here. So there you go, that's that one. And the next one is even more famous. Everyone will get this. This will be 100%er. So here we are. This is a really, really famous one going back to very early 70s. The album, I think, came out in 72, so I don't know when the photo was taken. There's a plaque on the side here, round here. I'm not going to show it, just on the off chance anyone actually doesn't know this, but we are in a place called, let me scroll out, in a place called Hebden Street, in just off Regent Street, which of course is in London in the West End. And yes, of course, it was Ziggy, Stardust and the Spiders of Mars. This was a picture disc I got in the last few years. My first wife had all the David Bowie albums, so what I have, I've sort of recollected over the years. So there you go. A bit of a bizarre one, but I like maps and I like records. I thought I'd chuck them together, and I'd be interested. Let me know in the comments how many you got. I'd be interested. I think there'll be quite a few 8 out of 8s, but because most people will get at least 5 or 6, I'm sure, if not 7. But I'd be quite interested to see how many people get the Made in Japan one. So anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers.